Conditions rapidly deteriorating in Jamaica, currently facing a Category 5 monster hurricane right now.
Now, all the ingredients here were in place for Melissa to rapidly intensify this weekend, making the jump from a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm to a 140-mile-per-hour major hurricane in just 24 hours. And it's gotten even stronger since then. Dr. Postel, you're tracking this thing now, at least officially from the National Hurricane Center, up to 165-mile-per-hour winds.
Right, latest observation, latest advisory on Melissa is even stronger than it was this morning. It's now 165-mile-per-hour Category 5, moving again very slowly, if at all, at 3 miles per hour. And that's an issue. We have pressure now down to 908 millibars on estimation. So hurricane hunters are in there giving us remarkable information. There's a ton of turbulence in the eye wall. The NOAA plane had to turn back because it was too much. Air Force reconnaissance is in there giving us a lot of this data. And 165, I haven't read the discussion, but that might be conservative based on some of the dropsondes that are measuring winds close to, if not over 200 miles per hour, not that far off the surface. And you think, okay, well, we don't live at the surface. Yeah, but there are a lot of hilly terrain here in Jamaica. And that's a problem, obviously. Those areas will likely literally get leveled, unfortunately. Now, here's one thing. It is a tiny, compact tropical cyclone. The rain is going to be a very significant, dangerous, life-threatening component to this. And Jen and Alex will talk much more about that. But in terms of that kind of a destructive wind threat, it's obviously there, but it's in a tiny little region. Right now, hurricane force winds extend outward only about 25 miles or so. And while that may grow a little bit in size between now and when we think it makes landfall, let's say some point tomorrow, maybe midday or so, that's a pretty, I guess, one way to look at it is that there's some ways this tiny region that's going to be impacted by that kind of destructive wind is very compact geographically. So here we go tomorrow morning. The area here in purple is where I shaded the model thinks the hurricane force winds will be. So for example, Kingston, not likely the way things are going to see hurricane force winds, but they will have an onshore wind at tropical storm force, which is very significant, with, of course, a ton of heavy rain. I'm not showing you the rain at all. That is going to likely encompass the entire island. It is the wind here that is really grabbing my attention, given the fact that along and to the right of where the center crosses the coast, we could see that kind of wind well over 150 miles per hour in gusts, and that will pretty much knock anything down in its way. And on the backside of it, there's also going to be very significant wind on the north shore of Jamaica as well. And then we go into Tuesday evening. It crosses Cuba, weakens a bit more, and then into the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos on its final land stop here, going to 11 o'clock on Wednesday morning. But Jen and Alex, you have much more on the extreme threat that the rain poses for sure.
Right, and we want to talk about the track. We want to talk about the timing of everything because we see it sitting just south of Jamaica. Yeah. And I mean, it's been sitting here all weekend, just sitting over that warm water growing stronger. We are expecting it to make landfall as either a Cat 5 or maybe a strong Cat 4. It probably doesn't matter which because it's going to be in the upper echelon of Cat 4 if indeed that's it. And then it starts to accelerate beyond that.
Accelerates northbound, eastern Cuba. You'll be in line to deal with a very powerful major hurricane at that point, and then continuing towards the southeastern Bahamas. Parts of Turks and Caicos could certainly feel some impacts and racing its way into the rest of the Atlantic. And even down the road, Jen, got to watch Bermuda. Yeah. We also do have some storm surge. I mean, it's very mountainous in the interior of Jamaica, but there is a very narrow coastal plain, and that south shore in particular is going to be susceptible for potentially 9 to 13 feet of storm surge. And we know the storm surge is deadly, and unfortunately, that could be quite catastrophic. The other part of the story is just the intense rainfall that we could also see impacting us. You can see there in Jamaica, there's some areas that could see 12 to 18 inches of rain, if not even more than that is a real possibility. Big totals in eastern parts of Cuba, and don't sleep on what we could see here in parts of Haiti as well.
Yeah, still getting in some just that outer circulation, those extreme outer bands affecting us. So here's what's happening. And at the moment, it's been slow to move at all here and actually moving just a little bit westbound. It'll make more of a northern turn turn in the next 6 to 12 hours and then turn more towards the northeast, thanks to this jet stream kind of taking over as the steering flow, and that will bring it up towards the north and east, again, over Cuba and then through probably either the southern Bahamas or the Turks and Caicos.
And then you can see racing its way northbound here towards Bermuda as we get towards the end of the week.
All right, so be safe out there. We'll have continued updates right here on the Weather Channel.